As you know, about 2 weeks ago, Diddy requested for all of the evidence and all of the raids to be thrown out. That way it can't be used in his trial against him. And the feds are shooting back to everything that he claimed, and it's not looking so good for Diddy. Diddy was trying to say that producer one, who is a witness against him, gave the feds false information. And the government says that the defendant's sole claim that the affidavits contain material misrepresentations relies on information contained in the March 2024 warrants from producer one. Diddy was trying to say that producer one's statements regarding something were not credible, but as described in the affidavits themselves, producer one's statement on this topic, whatever it is, were corroborated by another witness that it relied on in the affidavits, identified as assistant one. They said the affidavits contained similar information from assistant one and producer one, and even if producer one's statements were removed from the affidavits, the judge could have easily found probable cause based on them having the same facts. And they're saying even though Diddy attacked the producer one's credibility in the statement on something, they found something during the search warrants of Diddy's residence, which I'm assuming they found something that ties into whatever producer one was saying. Then they go on to allege that even setting aside the witnesses' observations of whatever that was, the affidavits contain more than enough evidence to find probable cause as to narcotic offenses. They said the affidavits had numerous witnesses' observations about something, including from the following: victim one, worker one, a holistic doctor, designer one, assistant one, and according to a chef who worked for Diddy. Now, in Diddy's document, he also went on to say that there was some type of consensual relationship between his time with victim one, who we believe is Cassie Ventura. And they claim that the affidavits detail something about victim one's account. They also say that they have accounts from worker one, assistant one, and designer one. And they say, accordingly, whether Diddy engaged in non-criminal conduct during his relationship with victim one, it's irrelevant to finding a probable cause that he trafficked victim one. They're saying that Diddy is using text messages to try to say this, and they're saying third, the text messages that Diddy claims are material omissions were cherry-picked to illustrate his point about context, but in fact are part of a larger incriminating conversation. And they're saying the full context of whatever this conversation was could make it probable cause. They say had the government fully disclosed the details of this message, it would have only strengthened a finding of probable cause. And the feds are alleging that the March 2024 premises warrants on Diddy's residence and himself show probable cause to believe that Diddy engaged in trafficking of other victims. They're basically saying Diddy is only worried about the trafficking charges with victim one when there is a whole bunch of other subject offenses. They say the defendant makes no attempt to explain how the inclusion of an alleged omission would defeat probable cause as to the other offenses, including the Mann Act, which is to engage in prostitution. And they say that the affidavits contain substantial evidence that Diddy transported others for the purpose to engage in commercial acts. And they allege that Diddy barely brings up the alleged omissions to probable cause of the racketeering conspiracy. And they said basically because they did not have the full thread of these messages until after this raid happened, they said the inclusion in the affidavits of the full set of messages would have only strengthened the obstruction case against the defendant and his co-conspirators. Now, Diddy also tried to claim that a lot of these people saying this had a financial motive to lie, and I said when I heard this, I believe that he was talking about civil lawsuits. And they're saying that at the time this information was provided to the government by these witnesses had no possible financial incentive to falsify their stories. I think they're saying, Diddy, you paid off Cassie before we even got to her and started questioning her. Now, we haven't heard back from the judge yet, but I've said it in the beginning, when I saw Diddy file this motion, I really don't think that this is going to go far. And the feds are not playing. They struck back with their motion strong and were saying otherwise from what Diddy was alleging. And we saw some new information that we've never heard of before. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.